בקרוב תזרח השמש, נדע ימים יפים מאלה, הלב נלחם בדאגות. כולם יחזרו הביתה, נחכה להם למטה, הלוואי נדע בשורות טובות. כי עם הנצח לעולם לא מפחד, אפילו כשקשה לראות. כולם ביחד, אף אחד פה לא בודד, שישרפו המלחמות. עם ישראל חי, אם לא נשכח תמיד להיות מאוחדים. עם ישראל חי, בעליות בירידות, גם בשעות הכי קשות. הקדוש ברוך הוא שומר עלינו, אז מי יכול עלינו? כי אין לנו עוד מדינה. תעשה שלום בינינו, שמור על ילדינו, כי לא אבדה האמונה. עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי. עם ישראל חי. אור ארצי נחלתנו, לא תיפול כעת רוחנו, מסביב ברזל של חרבות. ויונה תפרוס כנפיים, התקווה בת שנות 2000, עוד נצא לשיר ברחובות. כי עם הנצח לעולם לא מפחד, אפילו כשקשה לראות. כולם ביחד, אף אחד פה לא בודד, שישרפו המלחמות. עם ישראל חי, אם לא נשכח תמיד להיות מאוחדים. עם ישראל חי, בעליות בירידות, גם בשעות הכי קשות. הקדוש ברוך הוא שומר עלינו, אז מי יכול עלינו? כי אין לנו עוד מדינה. תעשה שלום בינינו, שמור על ילדינו, כי לא אבדה האמונה. הקדוש ברוך הוא שומר עלינו, אז מי יכול עלינו? כי אין לנו עוד מדינה. תעשה שלום בינינו, שמור על ילדינו, כי לא אבדה האמונה. עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי. כי עם ישראל חי.
Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shavuot. How are you guys doing today, folks? It's been a Sabbath, it's just finished, and I hope you're enjoying your weekend. And here it was kind of a warm climate, but we did get rain, even though it was a short rain, but it was heavy, heavy, heavy rain. But still, then we did have a little bit of rain, but still, the climate is very hot. Hopefully, you guys are having a very good climate over there. And it's been a week that I didn't get to post any videos. And back again to the pavilion. Let's dive into the subject matter that we were looking into last week and before that about Jesus, the Messiah, and how the Christianity spread across the world so quickly and so fast and also so big. What was the situation during the first century of this Christianity? That's what we were unpacking all this time. Last time, if you remember, that I was talking to you guys, the Messiah, Jesus, when he was there at the time period of the first century during Greco-Roman kingdom, and what was Jesus doing? Like how Jesus was not even giving any attention to the Jewish people. One side, the Roman kingdom was suppressing all the Jewish communities, heavily taxing them and looting their houses, killing the people, and bringing all the pagan worshipping system inside the Jerusalem temple. Even the pagan images were kept inside, and also the images were kept outside the temple. There were so many atrocities were going towards the Jewish community. Jesus was there at the time watching all these things. Never bothered, never did. And also, Jewish people were looking into Messiah. They were expecting a Messiah. Someone is going to come and rescue them from these atrocities of Roman kingdom. That was a brutal ruling at the time, and Jesus wasn't there to help the Jewish people. Even he directed them, just you go ahead, pay whatever you're supposed to pay to the Roman kings, pay what you're supposed to pay to God. That wasn't really and not an answer from Jesus. So, folks, before diving into the further matters, I really want to tell you a disclaimer. This is going to be really a very hard subject because I'm trying to get out some truth here, but it will be definitely affecting the Christian people and Christianity because they are having a strong belief in Jesus and his preachings and teachings, and it has been there for centuries. So it is not an easy thing to get the real truth. I mean, the truth. It bitters. It really bitters, and it is not easy to take. But bear with me and understand the truth, understand the facts, understand the things that what I'm telling, and you decide. You think about that one. Is it the way that we should move on, or what I'm telling is right or wrong? It's up to you. I'm not forcing you to come over. There's no evangelization in the Judaism, okay? So don't think about that. It's only shredding of the light, shredding of the truth. That's what I'm doing here. So be careful with that one and have that in your mind. And please listen carefully what I am going to talk to you guys today. I wish I could have more animated things so that it will be more interesting to watch, but I did not have any opportunity or chance for that to have because I'm very, very busy on the weekdays. It's tough for me to do these things. But still, then, on one fine day, let's make this channel in a very bigger way. Well, anyways, let's go and dive into. So, the first century Christianity, how it spread, because Paul was there. He was totally rejected by Jewish people. Whatever the concept, whatever the idea he was claiming, he was completely, totally rejected by Jewish people, what Paul was telling. And that's the reason Paul had to take all his package went into Gentiles because Gentiles were not aware of anything about Jerusalem. They never aware of anything about the Jewish culture. They were just Gentiles. They were from the pagan religion. So when Paul was describing all these things, there was no questions much asked. Rather, they wanted to join this movement. That's how it started spreading at all. So Christianity basically is like blind faith. Most of the people, they won't ask any questions because if they feel that if they ask questions, probably they might be, cursed by God or something like that. I don't know. That's what the problem is. So the most of the Christian people, they don't ask any questions to their pastors, preachers, evangelists, or anything because they feel that is not good to ask a question to. I think that's wrong. You must ask anything, anyone, any. If you have any question, you gotta ask. You need to understand because after all, you are trying to search for your God. That is the problem in Christianity. No one searches God there. They accepted God as it is, and that's what they are doing, and that's what they're moving on. Well, anyway, so Paul had to take all these things to the common public, and it so happened he kind of reduced everything, whatever the practices that first century Jewish people, those who followed Jesus, how they were observing the complete Torah and its laws and its mitzvahs and its practices and its rituals, whatever they were practicing during the first century was not been practiced later on, because Paul reduced a lot of things. And he said that you don't have to fulfill everything, because all the commandments or everything, covenant, everything for the Jewish people, not for the Gentiles. You can just follow the basic things and you will become a Christian people, and then you can move on. So that's what the Paul's preaching was. And that's how it was, at the time the whole world was seeking for one world, one temple, one God. They saw that this movement really, it gives them a lot of an access and a lot of, they can use the opportunities inside this. So they thought that this is much better than the other kings and other gods in other cultures, like in Greek culture. Very tough one, because they never had any holidays or nothing. They never had any weekend holidays, nothing. Completely, they had to work for 7 days, whereas here you can have a holiday. Now it is 2 days holiday, and you can go to church or you can go to temp. So that's how it was. It was into the Gentile field, and the Gentiles picked up this, and it's grown up, and too far away it went through. So let us deep dive into this one. Was Jesus, was today's subject is, was Jesus a Messiah? Did he qualify the expectations of Jewish people as a Messiah? Basically, there are at least minimum 4 to 5 qualifications a Messiah should have. There were several Messiahs, I told you. There were several groups were there. Almost like more than 24 groups were hanging around those time. Every group had their Messiahs. There were so many Messiahs were there. When we talk about the Messiahs concept, the lately, like 2000 years, the first one was Jesus. After Jesus, after a century after, Jewish people were looking into another person called Bar Kokhba. He was another Messiah. He was fulfilling everything. Actually, Bar Kokhba was really much one step ahead of Jesus. He was fighting against the Roman kingdom. He was chasing the Roman kingdom. I mean, Roman people. So he was real Messiah showing up. So he was also considered as a Messiah because he was fulfilling certain categories. And then there was another Messiah also was there. His name is a little bit of, I don't know how to pronounce the name. His name is like Shabbat V or Shabbat V. So he was also another Messiah who was there. He came probably around 1500 or 1600, maybe, I'm not sure. And then Jacob from Poland, he was considered as a Messiah. And also Lavach, Rabbi Lava, that's again one more rabbi. Again, I will never spell his word wrong, so I'm just leaving it there. So these are the rabbis lately were considered as the messiahs, approved by Jewish people. But was Jesus there in their list? No. Jewish people did not accept Jesus Christ as Messiah. The reason, because they had to go through their Torah, they had to go through their Word of God, they had to go through their oral Torah and also written Torah. What are the qualifications? Who that we should be calling as a Messiah? So there are a little qualifications there. I'm going to tell you guys. So we'll think about that one. The first qualification is that a rabbi should know thoroughly all the oral Torah and written Torah, and he should be a teacher of Torah. He should be teaching to the people, a Torah teacher. So that's very, very important qualification. That would be the very first qualification also we can say. And then second one we can say, he should be born in the Vedic descendants. How is it possible to born in the Vedic descendant? Yes, because David had almost 400 kids. No one knew. Most of the people don't know about this one, right? But the Torah talks about this one. Tanakh talks about this one. David had 400 kids. So these 400 kids might have been like multiplied like anything. So it is not a surprise to have anybody to coming through the lineage or of David, and that's another thing. And number 3, you know, he should build, he should not be only as a descendant of Davidic descendant, but also you should safeguard, protect, you should fight against, you should be ruling as a king at least 40 years. He should be ruling as a king, and then he should get fight with anybody is attacking to them, to his country or not. So he has to protect the whole Jewish community. So that is it is automatically it is understood in that one. Okay, so being as a king, I was a Davidi king. That's what his position is. Any Messiah's position. And number three, he should rebuild the temple. The temple should have been destroyed when the Messiah comes in. So he had to rebuild the temple. Now, you must be already knowing all these things. It didn't happen already in Jesus' time period, right? So let's move on. Number four, what they are expecting. So you should be Davidic descendant. You should know how to, you know, teach the Torah and everything. You should rebuild the temple, and also the other one is he must. What he must do? He must bring back all the Jewish people, those who are all scattered all around the world. So that's one more thing that the Jewish people must gather on his name. So, like these are all must and should happen to be accepted as a Messiah. Look at this one. Think about this one. See, it's not easy, folks. You cannot just take things very easy. That's the biggest problem in the Christianity. They think everything lighter when it comes to God and its actions, because they don't even care about that one. They just want to do some basic rituals during the Sundays and get off. That's what the Christianity is. But I'm telling to you one more time again, folks, you have to go and read the Bible correctly, read the Torah correctly, and try to understand things what everybody is telling. So when these many qualifications, look at this one. Like at the time period, the whole Jerusalem was so you know huge in its turmoil situation, and there was nobody to help them out. Jewish people were longing to receive a Messiah, and there is no Messiah. They would definitely accept, they would easily accept if Jesus would have dealt with all these things, whatever we did. There wasn't be any problem for Jewish people. Because they were waiting for a Messiah to rescue them from all the tortures from the Roman kingdom. But when Jesus was not there, temple wasn't fallen down at the time. When he left after that one, maybe 8 years after or so, the temple was destroyed. And the Jewish people, those who scattered already, he never gathered anybody when he was there to be with them. Okay, so now also the Davidic descendancy in the Jesus land, it was so confusing because one will be telling about the father side, other will be telling about the mother side of it. So it's a lot of confusion over there. It is also not concretely they could able to prove it that this was a descendant of David. And also was a rabbi. He was a teacher. Yes, he was a teacher. Jesus was teaching so many things, right? So these all things should be completely done by a Messiah. That's why they were looking into messiahs after messiahs. Everybody, when they come in there as a Messiah, one of the Messiah, I think the Rabbi, I think Shabdi Swabdi Twera. What happened was this Rabbi, he was considered as huge, like admired, like he was a Messiah. And what happened? He went and accepted Islamism in middle of his journey. That shook the whole world. So you cannot be a Messiah who do like this one. And also doing miracles, that doesn't qualify anyone to be a Messiah. Miracles would never qualify anybody to become as a Messiah, and it is not accepted also. Messiah should have all these things, what I told you guys. Everything should be carefully noted, everything should be carefully watched. And if there is anything that they can work along with the Messiah, anybody can work. But at the same time, he has to prove certain things, that he is a Messiah and he was a Messiah, where Jesus did not prove any one of these. That's why Jewish people didn't like him. Jewish people didn't join with him. They were expecting a Messiah to come at any time. They want to get rid of the place, just like the same place like they were in Egypt. In Egypt, like 430 years, they don't know how they're going to end up. Maybe how many generations passed, they have no idea. But still, then they are expecting a Messiah, and that Messiah was Moses for them, right? So, same wise here in the New Testament era, these people were suffering in the hands of Rome, in the hands of all these Greek Rome emperors. They want to get rid of this one. They want to get into a normal life, normal way of living. So they approached Jesus, but Jesus could not able to successfully give them the solutions. But the miracles making, the miracles, when you talk about the miracles, if you're going to do think about, Jesus healed the lepers, Jesus healed the the handicapped, Jesus healed so many things. But the miracles are not the qualification for a Messiah. Anybody can do any miracles. See, if you see in the Pharaoh's time period, if you see in the Pharaoh's time period, the Moses and Aaron was doing some magical things. Same thing, the Egyptian, the palace people are doing the same tricks and magics, and whatever they did, they were doing it. So magics and tricks are not a qualification for a Messiah to be God's Messiah. It's not the right thing. So we shouldn't be getting cheated by any pastors or preachers coming out and healing people. They're not the messiahs, folks. They're not the messiahs. Understand this very clearly. So what I'm trying to say for today's thing, I want you guys to really, really focus on what is that you're doing for your life. Because you need to worship a God, true God, one worship, one temple, one tabernacle, and one Torah and one word of God. You cannot worship like multiple gods. That's wrong, right? So you need to go and find out what I am studying is right or wrong. Is there anything that I'm not understanding? So you have to dig into that one, find out, find the true God, and definitely once if you find your true God, you will be enjoying your life like anything, folks. I'm telling you. So, well, anyways, as I said, that Messiah's qualifications were not fit with Jesus Christ at the time. All right. Shabbat Shalom. Shavvato. May God bless you. God be with you. Take care, guys. I will catch you guys pretty soon.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה עד
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא בחפץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא עובר והוא יהיה בתפארה. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא בחפץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא עובר בתפארה, והוא עובר והוא יהיה בתפארה. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא בחפץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא עובר והוא יהיה בתפארה. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא בחפץ הכל.